What is up, YouTube? Today I've talking to you out here about the Contender's License to Dominate. It is a super short print that I believe is considered pretty highly underrated. Whenever I run into super short prints out there, they can be they're a fight to get, and they can be very expensive and very difficult, especially like night moves, shoe game, a couple of really cool ones out there. I really am trying to collect a lot of different SSPs, super short prints. So they can be a tough battle, but for some reason the Contender's License to Dominate isn't that. So I run into like a lot of cheap versions of License to Dominate. A lot of them are under like $50 or $30, $20. So it is a SSP out of the Contenders box from this year. I actually pulled one luckily out of a break, and I thought it was so cool that I actually went out and decided to go grab more. The one I got out of the break was not the Cade, but it was the um, Kevin Durant version, and I really liked it. It has a nice little stamp on the bottom there. It does have information about where their name, their birthplace. It does have their Twitter handle, their position. It does say their height and everything, plus their pounds. So it's like a full license, which I think is pretty cool. Um, so yeah, it does have a very licensey feel. It does stand out as a SSP, as most SSPs do. If you're into SSPs, you can really feel like an SSP is an SSP, because they really stand out in boxes when you get pulled. Except hollow dots, which I will eventually go into Recon's hollow dots, which perplexes me as an SSP. But yeah, this is the License to Dominate. I have the Cade version like you've seen, and I have the Scotty Barnes version like you've seen, which I think is pretty cool. The stamping on the bottom, the overall feel and design of it really does give it a licensed feel. I've seen previous versions that actually are a little bit more colorful. They're like designed to the city or the date or the area, which I think is pretty cool. Now, if you're wondering what does the rookie ones look like, here it is. These are the permits to dominate. They are licensed up, they are licensed vertically rather than horizontally, and they don't have near as much information, but as you can see, it does say permit to dominate. It does have a different look, a different design, and has a full-scale pictograph of the individual. And here is the Keegan version, which I think is pretty cool. This one was a little tougher to try to grab. Permit to dominate is a little bit tougher than the license to dominate, but the permit to dominate is still, it's not going to be like, I'm not saying like these are easy, but I've seen, uh, you know, I've managed to get this Keegan one for well under $100, well underneath I think $60 or $70. It's not like, oh, that's a lot of money. It's not. I mean, compared to other SSPs, it is relatively cheap. I have seen SSPs go up to the 300s or 400s or $500 ranges. Night moves, White Knight. Snake Eyes, Tiger Eyes. There's a lot of ones out there that are very difficult to get, and these are strangely pretty affordable. And if you really want to add gravity to your collection, an SSP does it. SSPs are awesome because they're super sharp printed. So if you have them in your collection, they add a sense of gravity, add a sense of like this is something unique and special and it's different. So like for those of you who love it, I'm a SSP collector. I love collecting SSPs, and I always feel like I don't really care what type of SSP it is, as long as it's an SSP because it does like help you feel like you've got something special. And there's a lot of people are very focused on getting RPAs or getting special patch autos or things like that. But there are other ways to collect and feel like you've got some heftiness to your collection. And in my opinion, I think that a an SSP like Contenders does that. It may not be the centerpiece of your collection, I think, you know, your autos and your RPAs will be your special autos, your rare RPAs. Those things are going to be the gravity that defines collections. But I also firmly believe that, you know, a card like this, when you see it and how you know it's special and how it's different and it has some unique elements to the design, because this comes out of Contenders. So this is a weird card out of Contenders. If you know Contenders, it's got a lot of, you know, game stats. It's really focused on a lot of the, you know, the averages and how well a player's played and yada yada yada. So these licenses really come out and have a different feel to them. So again, you know, license to dominate, permit to dominate. There are many versions of these out there. Have thought about trying to go after the other ones, the more colorful versions, but this year's one is pretty solid. It does have, like, you know, it does have the team color, like right on the edge line. You can see it right there for Toronto, and you can kind of see it right there for the black. So the Brooklyn black right there, the blue, and the red. So you can, so they do, like, they really did some, you know, curtailing to make this a little bit of a special card. There is purple right there. So yeah, if you want to pick yourself up a couple of SSPs to round out a collection, you totally could. That could really give your collection some nice, I feel gravity. I think that's a good word. You want heft. I think a good. I think when we go through our collections as collectors, it's not enough to just have a bunch of the same type of cards. Collecting SSPs makes your collection feel like you've got variety and you're current, and you can kind of and you got something, you know, unique, because there are not a lot of SSPs out there. So when you've got those, you can really feel like you've got something awesome. So, and this is a really nice, underrated way to get into that. So, check it out. Um, a really good SSP out there, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Take care.